Have you ever met someone who makes everything about themselves? They seem so charming, so sure of themselves, almost magnetic. But as you get closer, something feels off. You might wonder if you're imagining things or being too critical. And then it dawns on you, maybe you're dealing with a narcissist. In this video, we'll peel back the layers of what narcissism really means, how it impacts relationships, and most importantly, why it's such a difficult trait to handle. We'll get into the shocking truth about narcissists that most people have never been told. Most people think narcissism is just about vanity, selfishness, or arrogance. But narcissism is much deeper and more complex than that. To some, narcissists are simply misunderstood, while others argue they are manipulative people who are dangerous to be around. So what's the real story? Let's dive in and discover the traits that define narcissists, why they're so good at hiding their true intentions, and the emotional toll of being around one. Are you ready to discover the truth about narcissists? Before we dive into the shocking details, if you find this information useful, make sure to subscribe, like, and share it with others. This topic is not only fascinating, but could also be a game changer for anyone dealing with difficult personalities. Ready to start? At first glance, narcissists often seem incredibly charismatic and confident. They're the ones who light up the room, captivating everyone around them. But what lies beneath that polished exterior? Most people don't realize that narcissists are not just people who like attention. They are individuals with a fragile sense of self, who rely heavily on external validation. Their sense of self-worth often depends on others' admiration, which is why they put on such a convincing act. And here's the shocker. Narcissists can be anyone: friends, family, partners, or even colleagues. They blend in well, and can fool even the best of us. The most insidious part of narcissistic behavior is how subtle it can be. Narcissists have mastered the art of manipulation in ways that can make you question your own feelings and instincts. One of the classic tactics they use is something called gaslighting. This involves making you doubt your own reality. For example, you might recall a disagreement, and they'll insist it never happened or twist the details, so that you end up apologizing instead of them. This constant shifting of blame and rewriting of events can make you feel crazy and isolated, which of course, is exactly what the narcissist wants. Another truth about narcissists that nobody tells you is their tendency to devalue others once they feel secure in the relationship. In the beginning, narcissists often engage in love bombing, a term that describes an intense, flattering, and overly affectionate pursuit. You might feel like you're the center of their universe. However, once they have you invested in the relationship, they often switch gears, becoming critical, dismissive, or outright cruel. This devaluation stage is confusing and painful, especially after such a grand start. Many people feel blindsided, wondering what they did to change the dynamic, but in reality, the change was always part of the narcissist's plan. You may ask, why can't they just be straightforward? Well, narcissists often act out of insecurity. They view relationships as a game to win, a validation of their worth. This need for constant affirmation is exhausting, and they become frustrated when the admiration they crave doesn't feel intense enough. They often end up resenting the very people who love them. This contradiction is at the core of their personality, and it's one of the most heartbreaking truths about narcissists. Deep down, they are deeply insecure people whose fear of being ordinary drives them to extraordinary levels of manipulation. But don't think for a second that narcissists are easy to spot. They come across as normal, or even generous at first. Many are successful and intelligent, and some even work in helping professions, where they receive admiration and respect. This can make it very difficult to reconcile the helpful, friendly person you initially met with the cold and self-serving individual they eventually reveal themselves to be. What's more, narcissists rarely see a problem with their behavior. They usually believe they are the victims of others' flaws and mistakes. Narcissists are notorious for their lack of empathy. It's not just that they're indifferent to others' feelings. It's that they genuinely believe others' emotions are less important than their own. They are often baffled or annoyed when someone calls them out or shows genuine hurt over their behavior, seeing it as a weakness or an attack on their image. Here's another surprising fact. Narcissists aren't just born, they're often made. Many narcissists come from homes where they were either excessively praised or subjected to harsh criticism. This kind of environment can teach a person that their worth depends on achievement or perfection. As they grow older, they adopt behaviors that protect them from feeling vulnerable or rejected. Narcissism becomes a shield, allowing them to hide from insecurities that might otherwise overwhelm them. Understanding a narcissist's behavior can be a journey of mixed emotions. On the one hand, you might feel sympathy for the psychological wounds they carry. On the other hand, experiencing their behavior firsthand can be incredibly painful and damaging. Narcissists can make you doubt your own worth and question your sanity. This emotional roller coaster is one of the primary reasons people find it so hard to leave toxic relationships with narcissists. They become entangled, hoping the person they first met will return. One of the most perplexing behaviors narcissists exhibit is discarding. This is when they suddenly end relationships with little to no explanation, often moving on to someone new in a disturbingly short time. This can leave their former partners devastated, feeling like they were simply a temporary source of admiration and nothing more. The harsh reality is that, for many narcissists, that is precisely how they viewed the relationship. The minute they sense they are no longer getting the validation they desire, they move on, leaving a trail of broken relationships behind. Even if you recognize narcissistic behavior, confronting a narcissist about it is incredibly difficult. Narcissists are highly skilled at deflecting blame and turning any criticism into an attack on your character. They may accuse you of being overly sensitive, ungrateful, or even narcissistic yourself. This deflection is known as projection, a psychological tactic that involves accusing others of one's own flaws. It's confusing, it's exhausting, and it's one of the reasons narcissists are so good at maintaining control in relationships. If you're dealing with a narcissist, setting boundaries is critical. Many people fall into the trap of trying to fix the narcissist or prove their worth, but this only plays into the narcissist's game. The truth is, narcissists rarely change. Therapy can sometimes help them gain self-awareness, but this is only possible if they recognize a need for change, which many do not. Leaving a relationship with a narcissist can be incredibly challenging. Narcissists don't easily let go of people they perceive as valuable sources of validation. When you try to break away, they may alternate between wooing you back with promises of change and cutting you down with insults or threats. This push-pull dynamic can make it hard to let go, especially if you still have feelings for them. But the best way to deal with a narcissist is to step back and protect your well-being. Narcissists are some of the most complicated and challenging personalities to deal with. They can be charming, entertaining, and even captivating. But beneath their charm lies a need for constant validation and a lack of empathy that can drain those around them. If you suspect someone in your life may be a narcissist, pay close attention to how they respond when things don't go their way. Are they willing to compromise? Or do they see disagreements as attacks on their character? Do they seem genuinely interested in your feelings? Or are they more focused on how you make them look? Knowing the truth about narcissists can be empowering. It allows you to see through their charm and manipulation, giving you the tools to protect yourself. While it may be tempting to try to change or heal a narcissist, remember that the only person you can truly help is yourself. The shocking truth about narcissists is that they are unlikely to change. And understanding this truth is the first step in freeing yourself from their influence. Thank you so much for reading, and I hope this video provided you with some valuable insights into the complex world of narcissism. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this with anyone who might find it helpful. Stay strong, set your boundaries, and remember, you deserve relationships built on mutual respect, empathy, and understanding.